invaders came to our shores to seize the ground. Kill the forces, summon them all, turn it around. Turn back the tide, I now command you, turn the tide. Hold back the tide, hear my demand, repel the tide. Turn the tide, turn back the tide. How are you?
Good. Yeah, we're getting ready to go on tour next week.
Yeah, what's the mood like in Satan at the moment? Everybody feeling good, looking forward to that tour?
Yeah. It's our first ever UK tour.
Incredible.
You wouldn't think that in 40 years that we've never toured the UK. We've toured South America loads of times, Europe hundreds of times probably, and never done a UK tour, just odd gigs.
It doesn't like you would say, like you say that to someone and then they would say, oh no, you're lying, because of course that's absurd.
Yeah, it is. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I mean, it's fantastic that it's finally happening. A run of dates. You know, you're starting in Manchester, you're going all the way through to Brighton, of course, touching London, where I am, which is great. Do you have a plan for those shows, or is it just, you know, have a good time, headbanging, that kind of thing?
Yeah, just have a good time. We're gonna stick in about, I think, 3 new songs from the new album. So
Okay. Have you decided what those songs are yet?
I think the Era,
Yeah.
Sacramental Rites, and Turn the Tide.
Okay. Any particular reason why those ones?
Not really. We
Just
had
goes.
Era was like my favorite song when we first started, when we put the first few together. And it changed from, as we recorded, it changed from one song to another. And so we're really happy with the whole album. It's just those other 3. We decided to use Turn the Tide as the first video, and I think Era will be the second song that will be used to promote the album.
Well, the reaction to Turn the Tide has been great.
Yeah, great, fantastic.
Does that go some way as to kind of ease your mind as to how the full thing might be received? People are loving Turn the Tide, and that's a good barometer for the full album.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's a bit cheeky, but we're kind of used to it now that we get good reviews. But it's always good to know that people are getting excited about it now to hear the rest of it, you know.
Oh yeah, that's good. It's good. I mean, there's a lot of love out there for you, so it's great that you get that response.
We've got our established fans base. It's good.
Yes, we are, of course, a mere few weeks away from the release of the brand new album, Songs in Crimson. It's out September 13th via Metal Blade. What's your mindset like at the moment regarding that? Are you still enjoying the build, or are you just kind of desperate to get it out now?
We had a little bit of a delay. It should have been out a bit earlier than it's going to come out. It should have been out with the UK tour. It's going to come out sort of at the end of the UK tour. In the studio, we had some problems in the studio with our engineer was poorly, so we had a couple of weeks off and it was happened during the mix, so it put it back a little bit. So we're just really happy that it's actually, we've got to actually manage to get it together for the tour in general, you know, because it was touch and go at some points.
It's a nice way to cap off that tour, I think, now, right? You know, you just get to the 12th, you finish the last date, and then boom, the next day, album out.
Yeah, great.
Songs in Crimson finds you in quite a prolific creative state in recent times as well. Hot on the heels of 2020's Earth Infernal, of course. Is it correct to say that you've been in a very creative place over the past few years?
Very much so. I mean, with Earth Infernal, we had during COVID to really contemplate what we were doing and think about things, and in some ways almost overthinking it, and you know, and chopping and changing. With this album, it's just been bang, 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 bang. The songs just come out like rapid fire, and then they're done. And we kind of noticed at the end of writing the album that there aren't any big long epics on it. There's nothing over 5 minutes on the record. It was quite weird for us. So it's just sort of the way it's happened, and I think it gives the album a different feel to the others, you know.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think it turned out that way? It sounds like it was very natural.
Yeah, it's just the way it happens. I think when the more you write and the more albums that you produce, you're always looking to different ways to go forward. You know, we're not one for sitting on our laurels and playing the same 4 chords all round and round and round again. You know? So we're looking for new ideas, and sometimes those ideas, they they take you is a different way sometimes, you know. We have a lot of we don't follow like general major minor kind of chord changes and stuff.
Yeah.
We mix them up a bit, and we drop in a few notes whether they shouldn't be there and things like that.
Keeps things exciting.
Yeah, of course it does, yeah.
So you want to start, you're going to work in a new album. You know what the plan is, so to speak. Did you have a clear vision at the start of what you kind of wanted to do with Songs in Crimson?
No, it just happens naturally. We just
Yeah.
it's always, we're a riff-based band, so it always starts with the riff, and then the riff leads to a piece of music, and then the piece of music gets us to create the lyrics from the music, kind of thing. What it makes us feel we would like to write about, you know. And
was there anything different this time? Like when you compare it to previous sort of writing periods, was there anything that really different that stood out for you this time?
Not really, no. Just the rapidity of it. It was just so fast. It was just sort of bang, it's done, and wow, we've done another album.
You wake up one day and it's just sitting there, fantastic. Was it quite succinct then? Like you got the amount of songs you wanted, you were happy with the number, and not a lot ended up on the cutting room floor?
There was nothing on the cutting room floor. That's one thing. The first song that we put together was, we put it together during the writing of the last album, Frantic Zero. So that was the first song that came out, and it even had a different title at one point. What was that? I can't remember. It had a different name for the song, so we were calling it something else, and then it changed and manifested itself. And I think once that one was written, then it just started to flow, and we just started writing the rest.
That was like the foundation.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
Here Aftermath. Is that right? Here Aftermath. Yeah, that was what was called. Here Aftermath.
I love it.
Yeah.
So that sets the foundation, and things just naturally continue from there, evolving. Tracks change, riffs come about, things adapt. You sound like it was a very comfortable experience personally, overall.
Oh, it really is now. It's just something we do naturally, you know.
Yeah.
Even when we've got back together in 2011 or whatever it was, when the first riff, Russ came down with the first riff for, I think it was Time to Die, and then we started jamming on that. It was like, oh, this is what we do, you know. It's not it's not trying to get blood out of the stone. It's easy, you know.
It's fantastic that it is. It'd be horrible if you were finding it like a constant challenge, but there's still going to be aspects that do challenge you. Was there anything about this record, the writing process, the recording process, whatever, that did challenge you?
There was a couple of riffs that Russ gave me that challenged me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the riff in Sacramental Rights took a while to master, but no, in general, we sort of know what we're doing, you know. We tend to give it, from when we were kids, me and Russ tried to give each other riffs that each other can't play.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic! But you managed it. You're playing it.
Yeah, we always managed to do it, but it's just we try to test each other.
Oh, that's fantastic. What about some of your favorite moments from the entire creative process of this album?
I think when you get in the studio and you hear it all coming together, you know, it's great. And a couple of the solos on this album, I didn't write them, I just jammed them as well, and I think they came out pretty good, so I'm happy with that.
Okay.
And Brian's performance, and I think especially on this album, Graham's performance on the bass is fantastic. It's unbelievable. He's really excelled himself.
I mean, the expectation is, of course, it's your new album, so it is, you know, from your perspective, going to be the best thing you've written to date, and it is an incredible album, of course. But do you sound very encouraged, very, very positive about this? Do you feel like this is a really strong Satan record overall?
Yeah, I think as a whole, as a piece of work of the songs, I think there are not many songs that you would call like album songs, like big, massive, epic songs that you know you're never going to play live or anything like that. I think this is like a real bunch of like songs that are all individual for themselves, and I kind of like that. And that was the idea when we came up with songs in Crimson, because we feel like they are the songs this time instead of big epic pieces of music, you know.
All could be released as a single and stand on its own two feet.
Kind of, yeah.
No, I completely get that, because it is an all killer no filler album in the sense that every single track delivers something thoroughly enjoyable. What do you hope listeners take away from Songs in Crimson overall?
Really, we just hope that they enjoy listening to it, you know, like we put a lot of effort into the lyrics as well. If people are interested in reading lyrics, then there's something to say in them all as well. And but we're not trying to preach anything, but you know,
of course,
we see what happens in the world, and that's what we write down.
Yeah, speaking about that, of course, I mean, when it comes to inspiration and that side of things, it doesn't take much these days. You only have to open your window and look outside to see the state of things.
Yeah.
Did you find yourself almost overwhelmed when it came to sort of lyrical content?
Well, you never stuck, because the whole idea of Satan was when we started, it was nothing to do with the occult or anything like that. We thought,
of course,
basically the bad in the world, and the things that don't work, and the things that people do to mankind are capable of doing such terrible things to each other. And we thought, well, we're never going to run out of ideas with a theme like that, and of course we haven't.
Yeah, depressingly so.
Yeah, depressingly so. Yeah.
Is there any particular set of lyrics on any particular track that you're really proud of this time around?
Yeah, I think the lyrics on Era, I think everybody can familiarize themselves with that, because it's the feeling of loss, you know. And I think everybody at some point in their lives, they've either felt it or they're going to.
Yes.
And we're really proud of the lyrics we wrote for that. That was written after Russ's brother passed away as well, so it was very poignant.
Absolutely, you're right. Everybody can or will relate to it in some way or another. From the album, is there a particular track that obviously hasn't been released yet that you're really interested to see the reaction to?
There's a couple that surprised me that Russ came up with, which were simple riffs and simple songs, and it's Martyrdom and Horror Babylon on the album, and they're written from like really basic sort of rock riffs, and that's something we hadn't done that since. I think there's a couple of tracks on the first album where we were using like that kind of riff, and from then we sort of steered away from that, and it's been a bit more complicated. But we've just went back down to here. He has just a riff, and then let the vocals and the melody take you away, not the music in itself in general, you know. And I think for me that really stood out on this album, that there's a couple of songs like that.
That's fantastic. Did you have a temptation, kind of go back to the live side of things, but did you have a temptation to kind of add more to the upcoming set list for the tour? Because, you know, with it being an album of like all killer no filler singles, so to speak, you could have played a lot more.
Yeah, it's one of them. I think it's difficult because I tried to think when I was a kid, when I went to see a band, you know, and if they played the whole of the new album, they would miss out so many of the songs that I'd want to hear.
Yeah.
And we never had that problem, because we only had Caught in the Act. Now we're on to like number 6, and it's starting to get like, right, what we're going to leave out the set now, you know, and you're leaving some of your favorite songs out to replace them with others. So what we tend to do is we'll take 3, play them, see how the audience reacts, then we'll take another 3, play them on the next tour, see how they react, and then we'll pick out the ones that we think the audience like the best, and they're the ones we perform for a long time.
That's the way, isn't it? Either that or just start doing a couple of hours long sets.
Yeah, there's that as well, yeah.
What do you think Songs and Crimson says about Satan as you stand in 2024?
Wow. I just think, like you mentioned before, that our songwriting is still really strong, and we've still got something to say, and we can still produce some music that we think people will enjoy listening to. And if as long as that continues, then we'll be happy to do that. Yeah.
That's it. Fantastic. And of course, 7 albums now, 5 of which has come since you returned in 2011. It's quite clear from the outside that you are enjoying yourself. So I wanted to ask, what are you getting personally from making music insane and playing live at the moment?
I love the challenge of I like to jump around on stage a lot. So I love the challenge of recording these songs. And you generally, when you record, and a lot of times when you rehearse, you're sitting down when you're playing. And for me, to take these songs when we've created them like this, and then have to rehearse them good enough to use all your effects pedals and stuff, and be able to not look at your guitar while you're playing it.
Yeah.
You know, I love the challenge of that. And then I love when on a tour, when we've got new material and that we're trying to master the performance.
Yeah.
And then the best feeling ever is when you've mastered the performance, and you know that you can throw the guitar around any way you like, and you're still gonna hit all the right notes.
Manchester, Newcastle, Glasgow, Belfast, Dublin, London, and Brighton all will get to see and experience this mastering of these new tracks and the old, of course, pretty soon. Steve, just a couple of minutes of your time. At the end of interviews, we have a section where it's basically randomized questions from a skullhead called Ozzy Osbourne. These are submissions from other bands and artists as well. So I'm just going to pull some of these out. They're random, and I'm going to ask them if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so we begin with, do you believe in ghosts or spirits?
No, not really.
Nope. Never had any experiences that might have made you think, ooh.
Yeah, I've had little moments and little things, but nothing that convinces me that there's actually anything there.
No, that's it. Fair enough. Okay, next one. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Absolutely yes.
Oh, big fan.
I very rarely have a pizza without the pineapple on, if I can.
Incredible. Wow. Okay, what's the last thing you do before you go to sleep?
Probably go to the loo.
Yeah. Okay, what country or culture has the best food, in your opinion?
Ooh, China.
Ooh, Chinese, yeah?
Chinese for me, yeah.
What's your go-to order?
I love Cantonese food, so
Oh.
that's what I go for the most.
Okay, if you're what has been your favorite holiday destination to date?
Ooh, I don't really go on holiday, I just go on tour. I think I've been on 3 holidays in my life.
Change it then. All right. What you've been on a lot of tours. Where's the best place been?
Best Japan. I really
Of
enjoy being in
course.
Japan. Yeah, it's so different than the culture, and we ended up in a district where it was kind of where all the musos hang out, and there was no English on anything. So every restaurant you went, there was nothing at all, and you just had to guess. It was great.
Oh, that's incredible. Oh, I presume you'd love to go back.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be back next year. So.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. What's the best thing about being in your band?
The friendship. We're all really good mates. We all love each other.
Yeah. Okay. What is an overrated tourist attraction, in your opinion?
Overrated.
Yeah.
I went with my daughter to Belfast, and what was it? It was a display of creatures from famous writer. Oh God, I forgot the name of the writer.
Oh, it's
from Belfast.
Oh, I think I know what you mean. It's not.
It's like mystical creatures. Oh,
it's not Rowling. It's not J.K. Rowling, is it? Harry Potter stuff.
No.
I wonder what it is.
And it was the anyway, it was the most disappointing thing we ever went to see. It was like walking around the car park with some little statues and things hidden behind bushes.
Oh!
What's this? What are we at Belfast to see this? Oh, I can't remember the name of that one. It's an
No.
famous author. It's just gone out of my head. Sorry.
Such is the way. No worries. TikTok. Yes or no? Where do you sit on that?
I've never even looked at it. Don't know what it is.
No, fair enough. Speaking of in general,
I'm not a Facebook kind of guy or anything like that.
So I was about to say it in general. How do you feel about social media?
I just don't use it. It's a tool to promote the band, and that's all it is. Yeah.
That's all it needs to be. And even these days, it's pretty useless at that as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Steve, one more for you then. What is something you would love to understand better?
Oh, that's interesting. I was going to say music theory, but recently I'm still learning like a lot about the theory of music.
Cool.
Even though that we kind of know what we're doing, and I'm actually a teacher now, and I went to uni and studied. I still think there's a lot I can learn in music theory. I don't think you can ever sort of know it all.
Yeah, I feel like if you turned around one day and said, "Oh, I've learned enough," you're probably kind of failing as an artist. It's always evolving.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And you can
Speaking of evolving, Songs in Crimson, new album, September 13th via Metal Blade. And of course, the tour starts on the 4th of September in Manchester, running all the way through to the 12th in Brighton. It's going to be an incredible week plus, ending with the new album. Steve, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Best of luck for the release. I really appreciate your time.
Well, thanks very much, Carl.
Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website where reviews, news and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at GBHBL. Just search for GBHBL and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.